Manufacturer Podcast. Today, a recording from last week, talking about an event that happened the week before that. We don't care how current our views are, we just want you to hear them. It's a Manufacturing and Engineering Week review, running back some of our highlights from an amazing show. And there's some frankly unusual chats about optimum temperature ears and ensuring you use separate soap lather for different parts of the body. There's all that and more in this latest episode. Hey listener, the cameras are back on and we see you. You've got weird ears, but thanks for lending them to us for this Manufacturing and Engineering Week wrap-up. I nearly said Digital Manufacturing Week there. And also the last time that we're going to get to do anything in person for, well, at least another year, because James is back off home to the Philippines. You know, it did make me think earlier, like, this is quite, I don't want to kick off on a really sad note, but this is a sad thought. Mm-hmm. This could never happen again.
That is really sad.
Yeah, it genuinely could, couldn't it? Right?
Yeah. You're insinuating that I was going to have a miraculous plane crash or something. Like,
hold your mic.
Sorry.
Say that again. Sorry.
So I thought you were insinuating I was going to have a monumental plane crash.
Oh. No, that is dark. No. Just saying it couldn't it? We could
Well, you just don't know
doesn't matter what's going to happen. We'll never live this moment again.
No.
True. You know?
No, but we might never do it again.
Not wanting to get too philosophical too soon or anything, but you know.
That is really sad.
We will never be here in this moment again.
It's true. I'd like to think we're all here next year, this time next year.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, you
don't know.
You just don't know.
No, I know.
You just don't know.
You could win the lottery tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a interesting show. We hope if you attended that you enjoyed it. This is following on from our live podcast, even though it wasn't live, from the Manufacturer Studio. So you saw plenty of show content there. You'll be seeing a little bit of other show content in this episode as well, but I just wanted to invite the team to tell me what they think, really.
Before we get into it properly, have you got some sort of ear fetish? Because I'm sure this is not the first time you've mentioned our listeners' ears.
Yeah, because they're listening to us.
There is.
Well, I know that, but
they might be listening with
and they're
headphones.
weird, aren't they? Look at like ears are weird, right? Like, just
Lana, would you like to discuss your little ears, your little wing nuts?
I'll bring them out.
Look at them, man. They're like.
If you look at me like face on, my ears stick out.
Bit of a wing nut.
You are a bit of a wing nut,
aren't
aren't you?
They're sort of like the kind of curves on them and the sort of way they're kind of this little flappy bit. They're just weird. They're just sort of weird bits of the body, right?
They are, but
Like
I love them.
A little bit.
No,
You love them?
No, I love them. So like
your own or in general?
No, seriously, you need to listen to this. Probably will think I'm a bit weird, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So you know when people have one of those things when they're younger, when they suck their thumb?
Yeah. Just suck your ear.
No.
So I was going to say you managed to suck your ear. That'd be a really good trick.
Honestly, I had a thing where I would like stroke my ears like that. Okay, and
is that why they're so big?
Do you know what? It actually could be. And I'm not joking when I say it's like a comfort thing.
Okay.
But they had to be the right temperature.
Do you still do it now?
To be cold.
Do you still do it now or not?
When I'm nervous.
Like when you're stressed.
No, yes, when I do.
Well, what is it you do? You just touch.
So I go like this.
Did you say they have to be the right temperature?
Yes. So like right now, it's probably not the right temperature because my hands are probably cold and my ears feel quite hot. But like they have to be like quite cold. And I had a word for it when I was younger.
Which was?
I can't believe I'm saying this right now. Like your ears had to be ripe.
Ripe. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. What the hell is going on?
The thing is that I'm not even joking. And once my parents brought me a rubber ear to
instead of like a dummy.
What to simulate your own ear?
Just as like a joke. They were like,
right.
Look, now you've got a rubber one.
Oh, it wasn't like a sensory. It wasn't like a kind of. Touch
No, they just like brought it as a joke because I would always go like that. But honestly, watch me now when I'm nervous or stressed. I will go like that.
So when your ears aren't ripe, they don't get a rub.
No, so like right now, it doesn't feel right, and I'm not getting.
Could you rub someone else's ears, like your husband's ears?
I have sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, if they're also ripe.
Only if they're the right temperature. Yeah.
So let's spend a lot of time on this. So it's a
Manufacturing will have to wait
I'm gonna regret
What
this.
is the optimum temperature
It's
of a
like
ripe ear?
it's got to be
for it to be a
cold.
ripe ear? It's got to be cold.
And my hands have to also be like quite cold. Like right now, it just doesn't feel right, and I think it's because my hands are cold.
Right.
Do you think my hands are cold?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, but my ears feel quite hot, and the ears need to be cold.
Right.
It's like if
Why
I
are
was
your hands so cold? Oh, we've been sat in
maybe
the
the
aircon,
iced
haven't we?
coffee,
Yeah,
yeah.
to be fair, yeah.
But it's honestly such a strange thing, but it is such a comfort thing. Of like, I'll do it without realising. Like I've woken up before in the night.
I just started
Yeah.
messing with your ears.
Yeah. Weird, isn't it?
Did you have a preference, right or left?
No.
Oh, okay.
As long as it's ripe, it will do.
Title. As long as it's right.
As long as it's right.
Honestly, definitely gonna live to regret this telling this.
Yeah, you
because
are. That's really weird.
I feel like this is like just gone onto
It's
a whole
one
new
step
level.
removed- It's one step removed from fetish, I think. isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It's
It's
on
like
the
taken
same-
to
it's in
another.
the same sort of ballpark.
I call
Yeah.
James's like little pork scratchings.
Why?
Well, because they're very tiny and she doesn't have any earlobes.
Oh, you really?
So they're like because
We
because
all have
she
earlobes,
because she doesn't have any earlobes. There's no real soft bits.
Oh, okay.
So there's all like they're all,
Ooh,
it's
hers
like
would never be ripe then.
no, they're all kind of like little gnarly pork scratchings on the side of her head.
And I thought it was because they were hairy and smelled like bacon.
Well, funny you should mention that. No.
See, weird ears. They're weird, right?
Weird.
And that's
Yeah.
further.
Moving on
proof
from
of that.
Yeah.
biology,
Let's stop talking about
biology
it.
for the insane.
Let's talk about something relevant.
Well, like the show, right?
No, not that.
Oh, go on. And I'm willing to listen to whatever you have to say.
Yeah. I don't want to get onto any other ripe body parts. I just going to throw that out there right
No.
now.
Or body parts that look like pub snacks. Scampi fries.
Yeah, you got a nose like a scampi fry. No, this is going to a weird place.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not fully kind of recovered
No.
sleep-wise, to be honest.
Me either.
I don't know. Maybe listeners kind of can what's the word? Empathise with this. If you've been in that sort of setting, if you've been at a kind of show, and if you've been on your feet, and if you've been front-facing, kind of talking to people, drinking, of course, and if you haven't had much sleep, it's a weird tiredness to shake, right? It's kind of like even when you do sleep, it's like there's never enough sleep, I
Yeah.
feel, at the end of one of those weeks.
Well, the first night honking didn't help, did it?
No.
Oh,
And
no.
if you get too little sleep, if you just get a couple of hours, you feel absolutely
That's it.
terrible. Like
That's it.
worse than if you hadn't slept.
That's it. Yeah.
That's
It's-
why I'm not
yeah.
looking forward to like tomorrow. I'm catching a plane tomorrow, which is
Yeah.
Tuesday, and I'm not getting home until Thursday.
Oh,
So I
And
lose 2 days.
Things like that is just so weird because it is like you lose
Yeah.
days, like, and days go, well, not probably for you when you're flying, but like when you're at the show, I feel like the days go really quickly. Are you
Right.
okay?
So
You're right, Tom.
I'm going to turn the light on. I just realised. Turn the light on. Really.
But yeah, I think the days go by like so quickly to the point where you're like, did last week even happen?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is pretty much of a blur.
Yeah.
And I think we discussed last week, didn't we? It's kind of surreal because you build up to it for so long, and
Yeah, then it's
you
gone.
prepare for it for so long, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you blink and it's
It's
over.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a fart in the wind, it's
Yeah.
gone.
Well, I was going to say Christmas, but let's go with your analogy.
Yeah.
That's better. Yeah, but did we have fun?
I think we did.
Did
Yeah.
we, and yeah, what was people's kind of high points? We'll go around.
Well, for me, my high point was being force choked by Darth Vader.
Oh,
And I'd like to tell the backstory of that because it's very relevant.
it was so funny. I don't know if it was one of them where you had to be there, but I kind of also think I've showed other people it, and they think it's brilliant.
But let's just talk about the quick backstory in a nutshell. So Tom and I are walking along Innovation Alley looking for people to interview, and then I see the guy who's dressed as Darth Vader. He's just sat there with his helmet off, with his phone in his hand. And I'm like, I'm going to ask him if he can force choke me and we'll video it.
And I'm a bit
So-
like, oh no, don't do that.
So
No,
he's just sat there. He's just sat there probably on his Facebook.
on his lunch break.
Yeah, he's
Like,
just sat there on his Facebook like, just lost another Death Star, LOL, updating his status. And the thing that made Tom laugh initially was I went over to him and I said, "Excuse me, Darth." So from that point on, it was always going to go downhill or uphill. And luckily, it went uphill.
massively uphill.
Yeah, because I said, "Excuse me, Darth, can you pretend to force choke me?" If anyone who's not a Star Wars fan, Force choke is like where Darth Vader basically chokes somebody from a distance.
Yeah, with his mind.
With his mind.
Yeah, with the Force.
And so I said to the guy, I said, like, excuse me, Darth, can you Force choke me and we'll video it? And he was like, yes, mate.
He was like, hello,
yes, mate, I
mate.
can. He was
Yeah,
really
of course
enthusiastic. He
I
put his
can.
helmet on and that was it. And he was like genuinely a really good bit of marketing for the company who were called Prove Anything.
That's it.
Because they've got a blockchain solution which basically allows you to pinpoint any part of a manufacturing process, I think. And so the original Death Star in Star Wars basically failed because of one part of it was manufactured
had an error.
poorly.
We are basically a platform for creating proof and provenance. We basically create digital twins, what's called a digital product passport, basically connecting a digital version of physical products generally for consumers to own and track servicing and history of products they own. We were told we had to have an interesting stand and we couldn't just show a laptop. And the problem of a software solution is you do end up just with a laptop showing some screens, which isn't very exciting. So we were like, what's a famous product manufacturing story that went wrong? And of course, the Death Star blowing up had a fantastic manufacturing defect. So what we thought we'd do is we'd record people on the blockchain helping make the second Death Star. And if something goes wrong with this Death Star, we'll be able to immutably prove who manufactured what part, and if that part was at fault, we've got Lord Vader here ready to come and find you and really hold you accountable for your manufacturing problems.
Are you a big Star Wars fan?
A bit.
Well, who isn't?
Yeah.
Well, like, I would say maybe I'm a fan, but like I didn't know that. Never heard that before.
Well, like in the original
Really?
films.
Yeah, don't remember that.
Well, they exploited the fact that there was like one
There's one
vulnerability
tiny
on
hole.
the Death
Don't
Star.
remember that.
It could have turned out very, very differently had they have been utilising
Wow.
Prove Anything's blockchain solution. So yeah.
Yeah. What my favourite bit from the video was the two blokes in the background talking about enterprise resource planning and trying to pretend that Darth Vader wasn't 3 feet away trying to force choke someone.
There's me stood there going on tiptoes, and then there's just two guys.
It was beautiful.
Like it's an everyday occurrence.
It was beautiful.
The way the camera pans, and there's Darth Vader, like, just stood there, and then there's you, you're really trying hard not to laugh, and you're in a suit, and you're on your tiptoes.
It's a beautiful
magic.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
It
thing.
was just magic. I think that was my favourite bit. Oh, jeez.
That and the eagle we saw.
Oh, yeah.
That eagle was majestic, wasn't it?
Orn International has got a number of different divisions, through from workwear to furniture. We've recently launched a glove division. We launched it off the back of, we've been doing gloves for a long time, into healthcare. And we've now shifted into industry off the back of customer feedback that there's a lack of consistency in the industry. So we're passionately providing consistent, reliable products of a high quality for industry.
Did you not see that?
It was massive.
I don't know how they got that past health and safety,
it was
but
proper moody as well.
Yeah.
When we
Oh, it was-
it was spooked by camera.
it
It was
was-
proper.
it wasn't happy.
flapping its
it was
way.
having one of those flap. It was having a bit of a flap
wasn't
attack.
happy.
Yeah.
So when you go past a power and it starts doing that weird head thing.
Well, you could tell
Yeah.
by the look on its face as well.
And
because
it was a big bird. It was massive, wasn't
You could tell it was pissed off.
Yeah, but it was big. It was massive.
Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, it was a unit. It was a unit, wasn't it?
We've talked about being attacked by chickens and stuff in the
Yeah,
past,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
I
would
mean
take
that,
chickens
that
over
thing.
That would
I
claw
mean,
your face
you
off.
hunt chickens off,
Yeah.
but that thing,
Yeah.
that wouldn't take any shit.
It was.
Punting a chicken. I like
It
that.
was
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
ginormous.
yeah. You could punt. You could. Yeah.
That thing's taking your face off.
Well,
You
you're
You
right.
right?
get put your ears away.
Got a bit in my head.
Or, I thought they were suddenly ripe.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, they've reached optimum temperature.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, yeah.
Don't want to waste it.
It's Lana out of action for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
She's got ripe ears.
She takes herself off.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to regret it.
We don't regret it. Not one bit.
So. Highlight for Joe, I suppose.
It's difficult to follow up on that, really, wasn't it? But obviously, for me, Top 100 was a great night.
Yeah.
We spoke on the podcast last week, obviously, but yeah, just to reiterate, it was
It was a good night.
good night. Real people made the effort. People dressed up, came together to celebrate individuals in manufacturing. So, yeah, pleasure to host.
Good turnout.
Inspirational, great turnout. bumped into some familiar faces, met some new friends as well. But yeah, really good night.
I thought particularly the first half of that, I don't know if anyone else, well, obviously you were on stage, I don't know if anyone else got the kind of buzz, but it was genuinely buzzing. With those sorts of things, you know, people have had a couple of drinks and kind of toward the second half, people were kind of chatting a bit, and it kind of, but that first sort of, if you could have just bottled that kind of first 15, 20 minutes, it was amazing. It was absolutely buzzing.
Although I've had a bit of a harsh realisation today, because Grace, our MD, sent me a photograph from the evening, and I've clicked on the link, and my first instinct was, who's that old oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I had the realisation that, because we had a fantastic kind of resource to lean on this year with in terms of videography, that they weren't at top 100, or they were at top 100, but they were doing kind of very sort of minimal stuff. So all of a sudden I thought, oh shit, I'm going to have to like get some video footage. So I was tearing around with my camera. I was on stage a couple of times.
Yeah.
You were, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You even made that onto a couple of people's videos on LinkedIn.
Brilliant.
I don't know why I didn't send it to you. It's like them on stage, and then you see you kneeling down.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to be covert and kind of keep out the way, and I suddenly realised, actually, I can't do that.
No.
Well, firstly, I'm too big.
Yes.
And then secondly, I'm actually not a cameraman. It would turn out. But I suddenly thought, oh no, we're going to need to get some video footage. And yeah, I was tearing about the place.
What about the tree? I've nicked your best bit, have I? But no, what about the big tree?
The tree. I was about to say.
So it crept up on you, didn't it?
The ent.
Yeah, that was scary. I was actually quite scared of that.
They're part of with our sustainability partners for the show, Forest Nation. Is that
Forest
right?
Nation,
Yeah.
Right,
yeah. They had a big tree outside the keynote theatre.
Yeah, and like a bench made out of grass or something green.
They did.
Near the eagle, didn't they?
They did, because we were walking around going, I suddenly said, oh yeah, let's get an interview with these guys. And I spoke to Andrew Franklin before the show, a great interview in one of our M&E Week podcast series episodes in promotion of the event. And I was like, let's interview someone here. And we stood there for a bit, and you were like...
And then we realised that the tree was actually just an inanimate object.
It's just a tree. There's no one manning the stand. It's just a tree. Talking about this, like, you got Darth Vader knocking about. You got an eagle. Yeah. You've got a tree.
Beard.
It was just a real kind of... Beard. You sort of... I remember when I first did this show, and I sort of assumed that every vendor and exhibitor would be the same. I think this was back when I didn't know as much about, this job and the companies that we partner with. It's such a diverse like kind of offering on the
eclectic
show floor.
Mix.
So
Well, especially now the shows are combined. So you've literally got people, with software companies, with ERP solutions and all the rest of it, and literally manufacturing companies with literally nuts and bolts. Do you know what I mean? It's the whole
with Darth
gamut.
Vader
With Darth Vader,
Eagle thrown in for good measure.
Yeah.
So, just very quickly, I've kicked the rest of the team out. I'll get them back in just a moment, but I've brought in the 19 Group CEO, Peter Jones. And actually, this is a man that's buzzing to be on the podcast, so I'm very glad I've been able to make your dreams come true, PJ. How are you doing, first of all? Are you all right?
Thanks, Tom. Do you know how many times I've watched you guys do this from an aisle at a show, and I've just been so envious. I just so wanted to hold one of these mics. I feel like I'm at the UN.
Here you are. This is the big time.
This I've made it.
Indeed,
we're here. I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, look, it was just while we're kind of doing this wrap up and kind of recap of what was a fantastic show, we just wanted to get your thoughts, really. How do you think it all went?
I'm still on a high from last week, and just thinking the difference, Tom, from last year versus this year. And when the shutters opened last year, they went back and there was just nobody there.
which from an event's point of view must be one of the flattest feelings you can have, right?
It's not a good look. And it got there eventually. So by about lunchtime, it built.
Yeah.
It was a launch. But this year, from the moment the shutters opened, it was like a tsunami of visitors. And the venue actually recorded. They had 1,000 people out in the lobby waiting to come in at 9:30.
Yeah.
And the shutters went back and instantly felt goosebumps. The group director, Harf Kenneth, her ambition and vision for this year was to make it a festival of industrial innovation. The team really went to town, so not only did we have that kind of audience turning up, so it's really busy. I looked behind me, there was a guy, a 10-foot high tree on stilts. Behind him was a Guitar Hero stage. Behind that was your Top 1000 backstage party. So it was alive, it was buzzing. It just felt really special.
Yeah. And so much going on, right? I mean, like we were so privileged to be able to kind of get around all of the, well, not all of the exhibitors, but so many of the exhibitors and kind of see all the various kind of aspects of the show.
You talk about privilege. We're privileged to have had the opportunity to work with Hennick Group.
Yeah.
Because you guys are so embedded, and the passion and commitment you guys have got for the industry is so clear. We're used to running major scale trade shows. Yeah. So out on the show floor, Tom, we had 400 stands. But then around in the fringes, there were so many other events. The Manufacturer Studio, the Top 100 event in the evening just felt really special. And it was a moment for such amazing people in such a pioneering sector to really come together and celebrate. I know last year when we saw Stephen Phipson get his Top 100, I actually caught him texting his mum with a photo.
Well, isn't that nice?
This is how much it means to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then very finally, it kind of seems offhand to be looking ahead so early to next year's event. Everyone kind of still recovering from last week. But there is an immediate sense of, right, what can we do differently next year? What can be better next year? Which I think, from our point of view is very exciting.
We're on it with you guys. So manufacturing is the second biggest sector in the UK. We lead with the 9th biggest manufacturer globally. And we felt for a long time, so has Make UK, that we need a showcase to reflect their global presence. So last week was 400 exhibitors. By 2026, Tom, watch the space. With the other shows that we've acquired, Drives and Controls Expo, putting that alongside. Design Engineering, we've got Main Tech, Smart Factory Expo. We're looking at a couple of other things in the manufacturing space to bring in. By 2026, we should be around 2,000 exhibitors to really make us a big global showcase representing the true horsepower of Great Britain's manufacturing expertise. We're really excited, and to be doing this with you. The manufacturer guys. This is a special moment. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you so much, Peter, and you're welcome back anytime, my friend.
Thank you.
What I was going to say, what was it?
Knocking over, walking into the massive W of M&E week and knocking it over.
Did you do that?
Really?
And just kind of quickly looking around to see if anyone noticed. Not sure if they really did, but it was just such an iconic moment in my life.
Yeah, a very Lana thing to do, if I might.
It was, and that's why I found it so funny.
They were a bit of a because I don't think you were the only one, because they were a bit misleading because they looked a lot heavier than they were.
Like polystyrene.
It was polystyrene.
You couldn't lean on them, could you?
No.
Yeah, and a shout out to Peter here as well. At the end of the show, he rearranged the letters of M&E Week to spell wee wee.
Yeah,
which was pretty adolescent, quite funny as well.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't an easy countdown round, is it, to make other words out of M&E Week?
Yeah, true.
There's not a lot you could have done, but I think
that wee wee was
with the resources available, he did well.
Yeah, that's the best you could have got.
Yeah.
Best you could have got. So well done to you, Peter, for that bit of quick thinking. What was my favourite bit, I hear you ask? I think so I've got a really, I find falling over really funny, and I find getting...
As long as it's not you mean?
Well,
it depends.
No, he can laugh at himself.
I would rather it not be me.
Yeah, sure.
But I also find people getting other people's names wrong really funny. That's like top tier comedy.
Think of anyone in particular?
I just so we hosted the night before the event kicked off. We hosted some of our manufacturing directors forum dinners around the city of Birmingham,
which went really, really well.
They did go really, really well.
Really well.
I had the nicest venue.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, you went at ours, so you could do this. Absolutely spurious.
Yeah,
spurious. You've got no evidence for that. You've got no evidence for that whatsoever.
Henry's dinner.
Oh right, yeah, it probably was the best venue.
Nice.
Yeah, ours was alright. Yeah.
The Hotel Divan. Shout out to you, Hotel Divin. Yeah, I thought it was nice. Yeah. But you were always going to be the best one, weren't you? Because you were with Matey Boy.
Yeah.
And of course, she's a princess and demands the best.
Well, exactly.
That too.
What
Yeah.
Lana wants, Lana gets.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Demana.
anyway,
Demana.
There was a chap on my one was on cybersecurity. It was interesting. There was a chap sat down the end of the table. I'm not going to reveal who he was. Actually, how do I do this without revealing who he was? Basically, I thought his name was Rory, and I very confidently pointed down the end of a table when I was like, "When it was your question, Rory." I was like, "It's your question, Rory," and he looked back at me and said, "My name's Connor."
Yeah.
And
That's not even close.
No, it's not. I actually had a similar thing at the top 100 because I actually greeted all of the exemplars that I'd interviewed beforehand. I greeted them all as they arrived. Nice little touch, I thought.
Yeah.
That's
nice of you.
and no, but this guy walked in and I went bowling over to him and I went, "John," and he went, "I'm Andy," and I went, "Oh, sorry, wrong person." And he was just left there because I just.
That's not even close either.
No, I know.
But you did the same with your
But you know
flipping
what?
Demetrius.
I did it a few times, right?
Demetrius, you can't get that wrong.
No, well, hang on. So I did it. So I did it with Rory, who wasn't Rory. I also did it with a chap called Clark Morrow, but I think I called him Carl when he came over and said hello. Because I said, "Thanks, Carl. Good to see you." Then I kind of ruminated on this for a moment, and then it wasn't until yesterday that I realised, shit, that's not his name. His name's Clark. But the worst one, like you say, was our fantastic video editor on the day, whose name, that's the thing. See, in my head, he's just called Demetrius. But that's absolutely not his name. His name was Zander. His name was Zander.
We had a similar situation at a golf day last year where one of my mates, it was turned up. The organizer was. He said he called him Giles because because he was posh and was wearing tweed and just looked like a Giles.
Yeah.
So the rest of us called him Giles all day. Turned out his name was Rob.
Yeah.
I think Demetrius looked a bit like
Stereotyping
a
like
right?
that is brilliant.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Do you not think? Yeah. Alana was with me when I said that. I was saying to Ed, I was like, "How quickly do you think Demetrius can get the video turned around?" He was like, "Who?" I was like, "The video editor." It's like, his name is not Demetrius by any way, shape, or form.
I think.
Well, I don't know where.
Not even close though.
But you got it from someone who's in the top 100. Did you interview this person in the top 100? Like, where did you pluck their name
I
from?
think there is a Demetrius in the
No,
top
there is.
100.
As soon as his name was mentioned, I grabbed hold of Lana. I was like, "I told you! I told you! I hadn't just pulled that name out of nowhere. I knew there was a Demetrius.
Demetrius
somewhere."
does exist somewhere in the world.
Sanity check.
Yeah.
Did you
yeah.
interview him?
I don't think so.
Because then how did you really? Where did you
It's
get?
It's
his
an
name
incredible
from?
There's no
incredible
rhyme or
segue.
reason to these things. There's no
Yeah.
rhyme or reason to these things.
Can I I hate to do this, but I would like to pick up on a negative
Yeah.
Okay.
from M&E Week.
Okay. Ooh, this is
Obviously, we went out.
Bringing the mood down.
We went out obviously after the top 100. Lanna Deamer let us down again
Yeah.
by going to bed early.
No.
yeah.
Absent from the M&E Week kebab again.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
can I just say,
No.
you guys went off and ate somewhere else. I didn't know where you guys
No,
were.
no.
What moment did
No,
you
no,
just
no.
wait around in a
You
hotel?
went off with it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I didn't. I said, you guys are coming with us. And I just walked ahead because you were taking about a million years to walk. And I was starving. Hadn't eaten anything since about 12 o'clock.
But didn't we message you to tell you where we were?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Alright.
messaged you, tell me where I was.
I seem to recall messaging you lots and
No.
calling you lots.
Yeah, we definitely.
And then you just did a disappearing act.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. But, like, I went to bed. I had to get up early. And I'd like to remind you that none of you have a 10-step skincare routine to do in the morning.
No,
We have talked about this on this podcast
Yeah,
before.
we
The
all
10
last week, so-
the
Yeah.
10 steps, the 10 steps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, like, you can just roll out of bed.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I use like a bar of Dove soap, and that's good
Yeah.
for my face, my ass,
What
the whole lot.
what time did you wake up?
Well, if we had to, so we had to meet at like 8 a.m., didn't we?
I hope it's in that order, JD.
No. I never get the arse lather on my face. So if we need to meet at 8, I mean, I can. What's here? Yeah, I know. So if we need to meet at 8, then I can set my alarm for like 7:40.
Yeah.
And then I can do everything. I mean, that's a that's a
It-
shower, poo, a lot.
that is privilege. That is absolute privilege.
You came down for breakfast and then went back to bed for a bit. You
Yeah,
were
I
like,
did, yeah.
"Oh, I'm going back to bed. This is horrible.
Yeah.
This is dreadful.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, seriously, 1 bar of soap does the whole lot.
So you have to, agree that you have a privilege to be able to do that. I cannot.
I remember when I was
Do
at
that.
I remember when I was at university, I once brushed my teeth with soap because I didn't have any toothpaste.
Oh my god, that's horrendous.
I know it was,
think
but I was really really hungover.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
That's-
That's not advisable. Don't try that at home,
That's
kids.
No,
really not.
absolutely not.
No, it's bad.
I would like to shout out to
Tears in my eyes.
King's, Chinese, and Chippy.
Was it King's?
Oh, you didn't go for Big John.
Oh, we didn't use Big John's then.
No, it was King's.
You
It
didn't
was
even know.
Chinese and
I
Chippy.
didn't even know.
But
no.
I mean,
I didn't order it.
it was
so good.
It was
fabulous.
cracking,
It was
wasn't it?
fabulous.
It was really
delicious.
good.
When
Really
we
good.
when we got that kebab at like what was it like 12:30 something like that, and
Yeah.
closer to 1 o'clock, it was literally the best thing I'd ever eaten in my entire life.
Good stuff. All right, let's wrap it up there then, gang. Thank you to everyone that attended Manufacturing and Engineering Week. If you did attend, if you didn't, then there's always next year, and there are more opportunities to hang out with us in editorial and the wider team and some fantastic manufacturers at our upcoming summits in November. Manufacturing Leaders Summit is back and the SME Growth Summit is running again for the second time this year. So keep a lookout for those. Plenty of time to sign up for them. I don't even know if we're even plugging them yet, are we? I mean, it's,
We are now.
Just
We
starting.
will be now.
Yeah.
We'll be ramping it up soon.
there we go.
TMMX.
Yeah.
TMMX Awards.
Judge, I think entries close next month. I
Oh,
think
of
I've done
course,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
15th of July.
Thank you, Lana.
Yeah. Manufacturing MX Awards, fantastic night, best night of the year. The Oscars of manufacturing. Get signed up to that. And James, mate, I mean, safe flight and all that.
Thank you.
We're not gonna see you for
Another year.
at least another year.
And thank you for your prezzies, mate, as well.
Yeah.
Did you get yours?
No.
Did you not get them back?
I feel so bad.
You should as well. You shit.
I feel so bad. Honestly, I was flying. I was like,
Just could have given them to someone else.
I was racing up. Oh, you know what? The security have probably
Yeah,
nicked them,
for
to be
sure.
fair. Like anything that's lying around,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're in a security team,
They eat it.
yeah, or sell it, or
just steal it.
steal it.
eBay.
They eat it, did you say?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully only if it's edible.
The mangoes, maybe.
They've
yeah,
eaten my
that's
t-shirts.
what I was thinking.
There's a security guard in Birmingham at the NEC at the moment wearing a Philippines T-shirt.
Yeah, just
and-
munching on
And is
mango.
and is very regular.
Yeah.
I was honestly tearing about the place trying to tidy up all of the broadcasting kit, which has made it
Don't
back.
take it personally. He literally leaves
won't get any
everything
presents
everywhere.
next year.
Nah, that's
He
not.
won't get any
no,
presents next
that's
year,
not-
Lana, will
That's
he?
not true.
It is true.
That's not true. Well, I mean, it is true, kind of, but they're just sat in a corner of that room that we were in toward the end. I didn't realise I'd done it until I got back to London, and I sort of was like, oh man, I'm just gonna go and throw myself into oncoming traffic.
Have you have you
so
still got
sad.
some battery chargers up the shard as well?
Yeah, do. Yeah.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Battery chargers right up the shard. Yeah, I don't know how.
Sounds painful.
Don't know how I'm getting them back. Because once they go up the shard, it's really hard to get them back.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Pinched by security again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Some guy with a battery charger for
And,
the camera.
um,
Eating the batteries.
What about that awards ceremony as well, where you left?
I left camera batteries.
Well, Tom does have my sympathy, to be honest, because I had no clue just how much kit we've got
yeah,
until
we
Yeah.
dismantled it. but-
until I tried to pack it all
I
away.
didn't do it.
But I don't
didn't do
care. I
anything.
wish I'd have just left a couple of the studio lights and just
Yeah,
like and
not the gifts from the other side of the world.
James's gifts that he got for
No.
everyone.
And to be fair, yeah, when we dismantled all that gear, it was like you needed like Mary Poppins' bag to put it in.
There's just so much of it. There's
It was
cables
just
coming
like-
out your
it
ears.
was like
and
square peg round hole. wasn't
Yeah.
it?
It
I mean,
is,
it's
you
just how
say.
you fit it
I
in,
did,
that's
yes,
how
it
you
is. Yeah, I did say ears. Equipment coming out your ripe ears.
Anyway, listener, thank you for joining us. The next one of these, I'm afraid, will not be as exciting as this for cameras. Well, I don't know. The cameras might be on. I know. Are we enjoying the cameras being on?
I mean, I'm just trying to pretend it's not there, to be honest.
All right. Well, it's there. It looks right there.
Is that why you did your Barnet today? Because you knew it was going to be on camera.
No, I had no idea.
I like your hair as well, by the way. It looks very
you.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No, I honestly didn't.
I'm suspicious now.
I'm suspicious
no,
now.
To be fair, I don't think I said we
No,
were turning the
yeah,
cameras
I
on.
didn't know. I told you I did it to stop using the straighteners, to stop using the heat protector.
But enjoy whatever content comes your way, listener, and until next time, goodbye.
We've got to do on 1, 2, 3 bosh.
1, 2, 3.
Bosh!